Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you're well. We are going to go into Inkscape. So open up Inkscape on your computer and we are going to do a basic outline for the shape of our portrait. So you need to get your portrait onto your computer and easily find that on your desktop in a folder anywhere on your computer. You will also need to be using the Bezier curve tool. If you don't know how to do that, go into the previous lesson for the Bezier curve where you're making an alien, and go and do that. And then we are going to go and just change this into a darker mode for us so that it's easier for us to see. So first job is we're going to go and go to edit, and then we're going to go down to our preferences right here at the bottom. There's some tools in here, and yours may look like this. It may be at the top. It may all be closed like this and all small, and that's fine. Just go into the interface, and then in the interface is a little triangle that you can click on, and then click on that, and in there you've got a thing called theme. Pop that open, and then you can go into this bit here where it says use themes, and then underneath it says use a dark theme. So then it becomes a little bit easier for us to see on the screen. It makes the subject on our screen easier to focus on as well. Okie dokie. So everything's in exactly the same place. We are going to go and just move that out of the way. I've got my keyboard open, so I'm going to use my shortcuts. So you should be able to see my control and shift, and I'll say which keys I'm using so you can see my hands down here as well. First job is we're going to keep this layer here. So we've got all our layers over here, and we are going to go and make a new layer. I'm going to call this face outline. And then I'm going to go and add that. I might go and keep this layer open and just double click it and call this portrait, like that. So you want to do that as well. Just go and make sure that you can see that when you click on these, that the blue one is the layer that you're working in. So we're going to continue with that theme of labeling things, what the description is. So I'm going to go and get my portrait now, and I'm going to go and get my portrait and drag it into Inkscape, or sometimes that's a little bit problematic, and I'll just show you how to import a picture that you've downloaded already. So just like in Mac, you can go to Finder at the bottom and open up Finder, just like you can get your File Explorer in Windows. If you don't know about this, you can right click on the open windows and you can go and open up where you want to get your subject from. Mine's in downloads here, so you can open up a quick window and get downloads. So I went to open up downloads like this, and then I changed the view to be able to enlarge icons and go and see which one I wanted to drag in. So I've got this lady here, and this is what I was using before, because she looks quite unusual because of the makeup that she's wearing. I'm going to click and drag that in like so, and he'll say, do you want to go and embed it? Yes you do, from file, and this puts a direct file straight into your portrait layer. Now it'll be probably quite large, and that's fine. So you can see how large that image has become. So look at my keyboard, I'm going to use control, and I'm going to use my mouse wheel and zoom out. I'm going to make sure that this is locked. So we talked about it locking the aspect ratio with the lock at the top. And then what I'm going to do is just make sure that is locked. And I'm going to drag that in like so. So she is centered into the page. If I just push my mouse wheel in, I can now pan. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to go and just start using the pen tool to go around from ear to ear. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the hair and back round to the other side. And all I'm going to do is just use nodes, because I'm going to pull the Bezier handles later. So what I want to do is, if I just use control and hold control down like this, I can still zoom in and out while I'm clicking. And what I'm going to do is just on the peaks of the bends and curves of her face, I'm going to go and put a node just where the lines sort of meet, and that allows me to go and pull those nodes. Make sure that's I'm going to go and just use my mouse wheel. I'm going to use my mouse wheel to go up and down. I'm going to go through the hairline and then double click at the end. So what you'll notice as well is that we will need to edit this, and this will happen quite a lot throughout all the objects that you make on every single face. So I tend to do this at the beginning so that you can see this. I need to go into my selection tool now, so I can go and hit S in here, and this is now an object. So now I've turned this into an object, and this will happen every single time when you do the eyes, the eyebrows, the nose, the mouth. Everybody will put this into the wrong layer. So this needs to be in my face outline. So I need to right click and send this into my layer. I need to make sure that I'm keeping this consistent throughout my artwork. So we need to go and send this move to layer, which is here. I need to make sure that is in the face outline and then move it. Don't worry, this will happen to everybody, and you'll notice that when I turn this on and off, that this needs to be in the correct layers. Next job is to go into my node edit, and I'm going to half finish this and then half finish it off the recording and allow you to do it. I'm going to show you. You can see that these are all squared and they need to be pulled up and down so that they will bend smoothly. So if I just use my control and zoom in, and if I use my shift here, so I'm just holding down shift, I can start to move these around. And match her face. So as we come to some of the nodes, they will just need to be picked up without holding control or shift. So as I just move these around, I'm just going to start to just shape them. so they match her face. And go to the next one. So once you're okay with the way that the face outline has gone here, what we're going to do is just make sure we can go into our fill and stroke. So I've got my fill and stroke open. Just to remind you that your fill and stroke is just to the side of my face here. So if I just turn my face off, you can see that this is my fill and stroke. And then I'm going to go into the stroke style, and it needs to be quite thick for a Julian Opie style image. So I'm going to go with about that size, and I don't need to worry too much about the hairline, and I think that's about it. So if I just go into S, we've now got that outline of her face, like so. There we go. So I'm going to quickly save this and give this a quick save. Call this Opie Portrait. And then I'm going to save that and come back to it later. Right. So this is up to you now. Go and do the outline, remembering to give your layers names and what they are. Next, we are going to go straight into the eyes. As always, year 6, good luck.